Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj, and today we have Barry LaBov with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So, for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what you do?
Out of the United States, my company is a branding company that focuses on one thing: differentiation, creating a product, a brand, a technology, an innovation, and celebrating it first with your employees, the people that are so involved with it, and then the world. So we're all about identifying differentiation and being able to share that story with everybody.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what led you to start your company?
I accidentally started the company. I was in the music business. I was a rock and roll musician, and I was recording music. And one thing led to another, where one day I found out that that company I was working with was no longer going to be around. And I thought, I've got to do something with my life. So I had a rock band at the time. And I started a business where I was doing what are known as jingles, those irritating little short music ditties that you would hear on radio and TV. So I was a music producer and then went into branding.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so can you tell us who are your ideal clients?
We have clients all over the world. So Harley-Davidson is a good example. Macallan, Scotch, Carrier HVAC, Audi, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, companies like that, as well as some very wonderful companies that are smaller.
Okay, I don't want you to share the secret, but can you tell us a little bit about how do you make it, how you help your clients differentiate?
Yeah, and I'm happy to share everything that we do. The thing we focus on with them is, number one, they have to discover, and we can help them with this, but they have to discover what they're doing instead of try to create something new all the time. Discover it. Look at what you're doing. Identify the 1, 2, or 3 things that you're doing that are great. And sometimes that means you've got to go outside of your company and ask people to look at it with fresh eyes. So we help them with that. Another thing we help them with is naming those unique things they're doing. So those of us that have children don't have child 1, child 2, and child 3. Our children have names, and we have reasons why we named them that, and we tell those stories. That's what we do with differentiation. We find those things, and instead of it being differentiation 1, 2, and 3, give them names. We tell stories about them so people are excited. And then the third step, we celebrate those internally with everybody that's been involved in creating those great ideas or technologies or innovations, so that people feel like there's a meaning behind what they do. They feel like they're doing something that's significant.
Yeah, that's really nice. So, can you be more specific, what kind of companies you help?
The types of companies that we work with,
Yeah.
the types of companies we work with could be manufacturers. They could be technology companies. They could be bakeries. We work with a company that's a bakery. They could be software companies or service companies. Every company has the opportunity to identify what makes them unique and share that story.
Okay, I got it. So, can you share a story of a client that you have helped?
Yes. A really nice example is there's a company that we work with that is a phenomenal engineering firm. And they engineered what's known as a manhole cover or a man lid cover for a stainless steel trailer. And you might think, well, that sounds boring. But to them, it's not. It's this cover that you unlock and you can load things into the tanker trailer. Well, they created a brand new one that had a latch, and this latch would not let you open that man lid if the pressure inside was dangerous. So, for instance, they would have flammable liquids and fluids in there, and you could open that up. There could be explosions. Somebody could be hurt. So I asked the person, I said, are you charging more money for that? And he says, no. I said, do any of your competitors have it? He goes, no. I said, are you promoting it? And he said, well, I just figure that anybody that doesn't want to get blown up ought to know about this. And I said, okay, are you sharing it with your employees? He said, well, no, I just figured that everybody here knows we're going to do whatever is the right thing. So I said, at least tell me you named that brilliant, brilliant innovation. And he said, well, we just call it Latch. And all he did was call it Latch. And we said, but this is an amazing, amazing thing. So long story short, they were able to name it. They were able to charge more, and they were able to celebrate this genius that they have inside.
Okay, so your company has grown like so much. So what's the reason behind that?
The reason we've grown is because our goals right off the bat were to be good enough and do a great enough job that anybody all over the world might want to work with us. We did not want to be just a good local company or a cheap company that does a little bit of this or that. We wanted to be arguably the best so that companies anywhere would say, hey, we're going to work with these people out of the middle of the United States, out of this small city called Fort Wayne, Indiana. And that's what we did. So our goal was, let's do great things so that people everywhere find us of interest.
Yeah, that's really good. I think every business should operate that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what personality trait or habit would you attribute majority of your success to?
I would say, and I've thought about this a few times, I would say determination or resilience, maybe that's a better term. Being able to keep working at something and not give up, not look at, gee, what's easy? I'm going to do this today, or avoid dealing with something that's difficult. I think for me, the idea of let's figure this out, let's keep going until we do it is very important to me personally. So that also means I drive people crazy at times and I'm irritating at times and they're going, why can't he just drop this thing? But it's also part of the success we've had, which is let's do it right, let's keep doing it until we do it right. And if we fail, let's learn from it so we can do it right the next time.
Yeah, you know what? Like Henry Ford, he also have the same attitude with his company.
Yeah, I think if we give up early, we're going to lose all the opportunities. You know, Edison, the great inventor, was the same way. He went through 900 different experiments for the electric light until one worked. And, you know, everybody else is going to give up and say, hey, come on, that's a waste of time. And it's like, no, we'll figure it out. And that's what I think we have to do. And it's very meaningful when you make it through that and you actually finally succeed.
So I guess that you have read Napoleon Hill's book.
Yes, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, me too.
I read it as a young boy. Probably I was 10, 11, 12 years old. Loved it. My dad told me I ought to read it, and I did.
Yeah, I think it was my first book that I read. Like seriously, I read. Okay, so looking back, looking back to when you started, what's one lesson that you tell yourself if you have to start again?
One lesson I tell myself is do it right. And if it means you're going to do less things or make less money, that's okay. But do what you're doing with the highest quality performance you can so that you're proud. So I work with entrepreneurs from time to time, and what they want to do is they want to scale up and they want to go from one client to 10,000 overnight. And I just don't feel comfortable with that. I've made mistakes growing too quickly, and where I'm at in my life, I would rather grow slowly but do it right than grow quickly and make a whole bunch of people disappointed.
Yeah. Okay, so your book. Can you talk about that?
I'm happy to. I originally wrote the book prior to COVID, and I was finishing it. And it was all about let's identify something brilliant that you're doing and then be able to share it with the world and make more money. But then COVID struck, and in the United States alone, nearly 100 million people walked off their job. And it occurred to me at that precise moment that, you know what, this book is not just about differentiating your product and selling it to customers. It's about differentiating your product so that your employees feel what they're doing is meaningful enough that they stay on the job and do a good job. And that's what this book is all about. How can you turn your employees into an army that's ready to fight for you out there? And that's what that did with this book. So it's very inspiring. It's not about me. It's about dozens and dozens of great people who did just exactly that.
Okay, so for the people who want to get your book, where can they go and get it?
Go right to Amazon anywhere in the world, or you could look at Simon & Schuster, which is a worldwide publisher, but Amazon is a good source and you can order it. Please leave a review, an honest review. It's a book that's already been the #1 rated book on Kindle and Amazon.
Awesome. So for our listeners who want to know more about you and want to hire your company, where can they go?
They can go to several places. One is LinkedIn. You can look me up, Barry LaBov, L-A-B as in boy, O-V as in Victor, and I will communicate with you. I get inquiries, weekly. People are reaching out. The other is to go to my company's website, labov.com, labov.com. Take a look, leave a message for me. We'll reach out to you and maybe we'll begin some sort of a dialogue.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what do you think? When most companies try to differentiate themselves, what are the most common mistake they make?
Most common mistakes is they do a couple of things wrong. They try to commoditize themselves so that they look and act like everybody else. Okay, so that's a mistake because you get rid of your differentiation when you do that. So that's one mistake. Another is they're too focused on perfection. So they wait and they wait and they wait to do things, or wait and wait to tell people what this product can do because they're not sure it's exactly what they want yet. So instead of trying to be perfect, they need to be focusing on progress. If they can create a product that's really great and they can share that, look, here are the specs, but as time goes on, we may change the specs a little bit, but this is what we see the specs being. That's a great thing. So don't worry about being perfect. Focus on progress.
Okay. So is there anything else that you would like to share?
I think the last thing I would say is look at what you're doing that is unique and honor it. Don't just discard it. Don't walk by it every day. Discover it. Enjoy it for yourself as a leader, and then share it with the most important people first, your employees.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so thank you so much for spending some time with us. It was really great chatting with you, Barry.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.